Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews Podcast, where we discuss all manner of films, whether they're good or bad. We fucking give them a chance. Film we talked about today is called The Owners, which was picked by the very regular guest, Kerr9000. He's more than a guest, he's pretty much a co-host, really. How are you doing, Kerr?
Oh, not bad at all. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How did you find the film? No, how did you find the film, sorry. Why did you pick the film is what I meant to ask.
Well, very easy. And the whole answer is Sylvester McCoy. I absolutely love the guy as Doctor Who, particularly in the later episodes of his. And I also like him as Radagast the Brown in The Hobbit. And I've met him, so I was like, he was the sole reason.
Yeah, fair enough. I've never met Sylvester McCoy. I haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who with him in it. I've seen some of it, but not a lot. Like, I've seen more of, like, Doctors 1 to 5 than I have up to, Pete Davison was the Doctor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. I haven't seen that many episodes of them. So
I really like both of them. Unfortunately, both of them really had certain people at the BBSC ruining it for them.
Yeah.
Budgets cut, messed around. And Sylvester McCoy, his first season is played as him being a very clowny, Patrick Troughton-esque Doctor, but then he gets darker, and when he gets darker, he's brilliant.
Yeah, I can see that he'd play a good evil type from this film.
Oh yeah, this is pure. But in this again, he starts off seeming quite klutzy, lovable, and then it ramps up, doesn't it? He's a nutter.
Yeah. To put it as blunt as possible. Crazy. Basically, The Owners is a film about a group of young adults, I would say. Maybe late teens, early 20s or something. I don't know. I'm sure at one point they do mention one of their ages of being like 25, 23, something like that. Might be wrong.
Yeah, it sounds right.
But basically, three guys are going to break into this doctor's house. Funny because, Doctor and Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So they're going to break into his house, him and his wife's house, to get lots and lots of money because they know there's a safe, which is meant to be a digital safe.
Yeah.
But when they find the safe, it's an old analog, turn the fucking dial safe. So I am wondering, is there more than one safe? Because the mother said to the son, the mother is a cleaner there, so she would have seen the safe. Did she see a different safe? And the doctor and his wife know about, obviously the analog safe is very different, doesn't have what you think in there, compared to maybe they have another safe, which is what the mother saw. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe there's another safe with the actual belongings in.
Yeah, very well could be.
Because it would make sense for her to say it's a digital safe with digital stuff. You'd think that it would be somewhere else, maybe. Or maybe she was just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it seems to be a decent-sized house, so it's not impossible to think there was another safe.
Yeah. So there's these three guys that are going to break into this house. Then one of the guy's girlfriends turns up, and she's like, "I need my fucking car back. You took my fucking car. I told you I got fucking work." And she's like, he's like, "I'll be 20 minutes, and you can have the car." And she was already half hour late for work, and she texted someone saying, phoned someone and said, "I'll be an hour and I'll be sorted." And then it looked like it was quite early in the day, and then by the time she stood outside waiting while they've brought into this house, it's fucking pitch black. She must have been sat there waiting for hours. Literally,
I thought that
10 hours just waiting there.
Very patient considering. Yeah, sure, she's moaning, but I think I'd have been kicking off after 10 minutes. But
yeah, she would have been better off riding her bike to work than waiting that long for her car. But they break into the house. The guys, and they find the safe. They realize it's an old school safe. They don't know how to crack the old school safe. The one guy's like, yeah, I could do with it if it was a digital one like you told me it was. I can't use any of this stuff on this old safe. We'll have to wait for the owners to come back and get the code from them. So the girlfriend, I think her name is Mary. Mary is hanging around outside, and then she's tooting the horn, screaming her boyfriend's name. And then he goes, oh, come in here and have a look at this. It'll be 5 minutes. And then for some reason, she goes in the house. And then after a couple of minutes of being in the house, the owners return. And this is where things start to get pretty messed up. Already, like the guy in the back of the car, the lanky one as I call him, he seemed like a massive knobhead from the start.
Oh, yeah.
Boyfriend didn't seem like much better, and the other guy, the fat one as they call him,
Harry, he's just a coward, really, isn't he?
He's a bit of a baby, like.
But the actor that plays the biggest knobhead one, Jake Curran, he did a great job.
Yeah.
I wanted to throttle him. You were just literally going, somebody hit him. Somebody just clock him. He's an absolute piece of shit. Yeah. And I could feel like that desire for someone to mounting up in me.
Yeah, I can see why he was a fucking cock. Treated everyone like shit. Very, very big man kind of, I'll do what I want, you listen to what I fucking say. Yeah. That kind of shit. But after they come back, it's kind of where things go awry. They all put on stockings, so they cover their faces, even Mary, even though she doesn't really want to be involved in any of this stuff. And they kidnap the doctor and his wife. Take him to the basement, which is where the safe is. And after a big conversation, the boyfriend threatens to cut off the finger of the doctor's wife, being like, "You tell us the name of the safe, and I'll cut a finger off." He clearly doesn't want to do it because he's very unhappy.
Yeah.
While this is happening, the lanky guy decides to whip out a gun. God knows where he got a gun from, but he had a gun. And he's like, cut a fucking finger off kind of thing. And then the boyfriend decides, instead of, starts to cut into the finger, and then turns around and cuts the lanky guy's arm. Yeah. And it's like, okay, this is going very different how I imagined it, because none of them are on the same wavelength at all.
No, and I think really the doctor's talked to them, hasn't he? And he's kind of tried to sow some seeds and get people on different pages. Yeah. Because he can tell that they are... He can see that schism in them, and that, that one's the coward, one's really bad, one's kind of just misled, and, they just feed the little things in there. Yeah. But then you also start thinking, well, the doctor's not quite right in his head, because whatever's in that safe can't be that important, and yet he's almost willing to let horrible things happen to his wife, and she's pretty much willing to let them happen as well. They're like saying, we'll cut her, we'll chop her, and she's like going, don't tell him. Yeah. So you're very on edge thinking, this is all weird.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck is so valuable in that safe? You might know, might not. But obviously they fight, the two guys, and they start to fight, and one of them gets stabbed. The boyfriend, I forgot his name. Terrible with names.
Nathan, yeah.
Yeah, he gets stabbed. So he gets stabbed with the Stanley knife, and he's on the floor like, I'm dying. He doesn't do that, but I wanted to do that. And then Mary manages to get free. But you sort of gets free because she's been tied up. Because while all this arguing is going on, she walks off, and it looks like she tries to phone the police. And the lanky guy goes off and gets her, brings her back, has her tied up, makes her sit on the floor, like under the stairs of the basement kind of thing. And then obviously the fight breaks out. So she's sitting there. Obviously, her arms are sort of free. They still get bound, but they're not behind her, so she's able to use them. Yeah? And the guy is threatening to start cutting up the wife with like a disc cutter. And he plugs it in, starts going towards the disc cutter to cut her, I think, her face, I think
so, yeah.
And the cord isn't long enough. And he's like, oh, the fucking electric's in this house kind of thing. And I did genuinely laugh at that. I was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I like that.
It's, it's such a dire situation. It's like, we pop in this little joke here about the fucking cable being too short or the plug being too far away. So he unplugs the disc cutter, plugs it into another socket closer by. As he gets close to the woman, Mary smashes him around the head with a hammer. He falls on the floor having some kind of weird, like, muscle spasms as he's dying on the floor.
Yeah.
And then they free the doctor and his wife. And this is the thing I don't get. Mary didn't really want to be involved in it. She did everything she could to help the doctor and his wife. She tried getting the phone in the police, I think. She freed them. She killed the guy who was going to hurt them. And yet, the doctor and his wife still fucking, like, clearly killed Nathan or left him to die, even though she said, oh, you'll be fine, I'll sort him out. And then all of a sudden he's dead. Because after freeing him, they try and take Nathan to his, they take him to his office, the doctor's office, to fix him up. And doesn't. And I don't even think he tried, really.
No, it doesn't seem like it, does it?
No. So when that's happening, like, obviously Mary's getting very suspicious of things. She's like, yeah, something's not right here. And to be fair, she is right. Something isn't right. But you've got the thing of then, like, the wife seems to have lost it, clearly.
Yeah.
I think they had a child who seemed, when you saw pictures of her, she seemed to have some sort of disability. But then they said she were missing. So I think maybe that messed up the wife, her daughter going missing. If maybe that's why she was the way she was.
Maybe with a bit of dementia thrown in, or because she does seem to, like, flip on and off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she does. But you can clearly see that, like, they are fucking dodgy. And the thing is, it's like he knows who they are. He speaks to them by name, even while they're wearing their face masks. The stockings to cover their faces. And he speaks to them like, I was your doctor. I've treated you your entire lives. So for him to be the way he is with them, it's like, wow.
It's like a double bluff, isn't it? Because you start watching it and you think these youngsters are the monsters and they're terrorising this old couple. And then it flips and the old couple are terrorising them.
Yeah.
So, very Twilight Zone-esque to me.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the thing with this is like, I assume the reason why. We'll skip to the end, right? At the end, it shows that they've been kidnapping girls to have them as a new daughter to take the place of their original daughter. So I'm assuming they were trying to fuck with Mary to maybe have her as one, but at the end they decide they don't want her because she's too much of a handful, I think.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's why. But if it wasn't for her, they probably would have been dead. That's the shocking thing about it.
Well, I suppose, though, that they don't want... If the police were called, they'd come and possibly poke around the house and find out what they'd been going to. So I suppose, really, killing them is clean-up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
But it does make you wonder how many replacement daughters have there been? How long do they keep them?
Well, when they sitting around having the dinner table, and she's like, "Oh, let's all have a cup of tea," kind of thing. The doctor and the wife, we'll have some tea, and she does say that the wife has been keeping a book of all the missing girls, and there's 4 or 5 at least.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe they're the girls who took her place, and the last girl was Mary's twin sister, which I think was Jane.
Yeah, who'd been in some form of relationship with the tubby lad, Terry, hadn't she?
Yeah. And he seems a bit weird. He's trying to get her on with Mary, and I think it's just because she's an identical twin to Jane.
Yeah.
Because at one point he seems to have lost it, and he's like, "Oh, we'll be together, Jane," and he's calling her by the other name. So I think he fucking lost it by the fucking...
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through the film, he'd completely fucking gone bananas. To be fair, there's not a very big cast, and it's still quite a gruesome film at times. You'd expect to be... maybe more deaths and stuff happening.
Yeah, I was going to say the death count's low, isn't it? But then again, the trauma count and the
I think
creepy
that's
shit count's pretty high.
Yeah. I liked it with the as the film progresses, it's basically that, what was his name, Terry? He's kind of everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Mary's freaking out constantly because she knows shit's going wrong. And the doctor and his wife are kind of you don't know exactly what's going on with them until right at the end, I guess. But you can see that they've got something going on. You just got to work out what it is, or just find out what it is, which you do. But I did find it funny at certain points, when he gives when the wife gives an injection into the guy's ass, Terry's ass, and then she kisses him on the bum. I'm like, what?
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in it.
It's why is she kissing his ass? Oh, there's a good boy.
Did you notice the weird thing? It was about an hour and a quarter in where the aspect ratio of the film just changed.
Yeah, I genuinely thought something was wrong with the film.
Yeah,
I rewound it. It was after I was watching it, and I thought, something may have happened for making it look like this. But I thought, maybe my film's dodgy or something. So I rewound a little bit to see if something happened. But I noticed he looks through a keyhole, and after he looks through the keyhole to see the dead guy, the screen changes. So I have no idea why.
No, because at first I just thought it was a keyhole thing and it'd go back to and it was just... Can't see any real reason for it. It was weird.
I don't know, unless he was trying to convey a sense of, I don't know, claustrophobia, a claustrophobic feeling, or maybe, I don't know, some sort of thing with the guy, because it mainly follows a Terry when that happens. Then it goes on to that Mary again. Because you see that he sees that Nathan is dead. And then after that, the wife is saying to the doctor, oh, we need to punish her, like, now. And he's like, no, we'll do it later. We'll punish her later. And she's like, no, we'll do it now. So they're running around the house with gas masks on, gassing the house with some sort of smoke grenades.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious. Like, she keeps, like, running past her and whipping her with something. The old woman kept doing that to Mary. And then eventually she just throws a fucking vase and manages to smack the woman over. I thought that was fucking brilliant. And then she takes the mask, takes her into the kitchen, ties her up, and then like smacks her on the face, saying like, "Where's the keys?" or something like that. And her teeth fling out, and then she just starts laughing enough. The doctor's wife starts laughing in the face of Mary, and it's just like, she is fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, she does an amazing job of coming across as a complete loon.
Yeah, it is really good. Like Sylvester McCoy, comes across as nuts, but comes across as much more calculated in it. Whereas she just seems fucking nuts, you know? Like proper lost her shit.
He seems to be wanting to keep her happy and safe, and he's willing to do any lunatic thing to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas she just seems fucking nuts, yeah. You think if he'd have been with somebody more normal, he wouldn't have been doing that shit, but she's a lunatic. She'd have been doing that regardless of him.
Yeah. I guess that's the trauma of losing her daughter that did that to her. Or maybe she was already like it, because we don't know, do we?
No. Did you notice the VHS that they were playing?
I did. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was like, why is there like a...
You don't know Pipkins?
No.
Pipkins is like the low-rent 1970s British hyper-depressive Sesame Street. I remember one of the puppets on Pipkins went into a big thing asking the people in it, why do we have to die? Why can't we just go home forever and ever? It's a weird show. It's nightmare fuel, but...
No, I didn't. I was like, when it came on, I was like, why is there some kind of weird rabbity thing playing a piano?
all the puppets in Pipkins look like if you got Sesame Street characters, painted them grey, and threw them in a dirty shed for about 10 years, and then pulled them out and made a TV show.
I'm guessing it's not. Is it for kids?
Yeah, it's for kids, but it's fucked up. The 70s were a weird place.
I was born in the early 80s, so...
I was born in the early 80s. I only know of Pipkins because I've got two older brothers.
Ah.
So you learn a lot of things, you know, they stick things of theirs on and...
Yeah, I had no idea what that was. But it seemed very odd. I'll have to have a look into that. This is crazy to say.
I've only got limited memories, but what I remember of it is dark and dire. I think it was, you know, I wouldn't want to raise a kid on it now.
Oh, well. My kids are all going to watch it now. They wouldn't watch it. They're too old. No, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was something for that film, like.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you enjoyed it, though.
I did enjoy the film, actually. I thought it was really entertaining. It was a very strange film, but I did enjoy it. I thought Sylvester McCoy was great in there. Maisie Williams was as well, as was Crazy Lady. She really played her part well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Maisie Williams is another Doctor Who actor, isn't she? Because she was in the Peter Capaldi episodes as, is it Isildur? Or something like that, her name.
Yeah.
Isildur, that's it.
She
also, Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, to be honest.
I saw some of the first season, and the only thing I really liked, what's his name? The little guy actor.
Oh, I forgot his name all of a sudden.
It was in that Adam Sandler Pixels.
Yeah, that's so fucking old. Peter Dinklage.
Oh,
Peter Dinklage, yeah.
Peter Dinklage, that's it.
I was thinking
There's
Peter something, but I was thinking Peter Weller, which I'm pretty sure is fucking
RoboCop, yeah. There's a thing in Game of Thrones where he's captured and they ask him, how do you want to die? And he says something on the lines of, at the age of 90 with a horse mouth around my cock or so. I remember walking in when my dad was watching that, hearing that and just pissing myself. I was like, that's one of the greatest lines ever in TV.
Yeah. I watched the entire first season of Game of Thrones and I thought, I'll give it a chance because everyone's fucking raving about it. I watched the first season of it and I thought, the only good thing about it is the tits. And I stopped watching it. But I can look at tits on the internet. I don't need to watch Game of Thrones. I get why people like it, but it's just not my thing, to be fair.
No,
I don't get the love for it. But yeah, Maisie Williams was in Doctor Who, was with Capaldi, and she somehow ended up immortal or something.
Yeah.
There you go. She wasn't immortal in this.
No.
It was like I wasn't expecting the ending to have the twist it had. Like I kind of suspected there was something up with the safe and that. And I was thinking we showed the missing girls, something was up with them and the missing girls. But I didn't expect Terry to shoot Maisie Williams in the back.
No.
That came out of nowhere for me. Spoilers, by the way. But that threw it, because she was literally about to escape. She sees the people, like the doctor and his wife, standing in front of like the van where she's about to drive off, and you can clearly see she's gonna run him the fuck over and drive off. But that doesn't happen because someone's mean. But the reason why he done it is because he was obviously told about the twin and he wanted to see the twin. So
yeah.
But what do you think? What did you think of the film in the end, then, overall?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Talking 8 out of 10 territory for me, but again, a lot of that is down to absolutely loving Sylvester McCoy, and he does a great job in this. Anyone who likes him, just watch this film, even if just for him.
Yeah, he's very good in it. I couldn't say a bad word about him in it. He plays a very odd fellow. As you can see, he's not quite right. But he seems to be more composed, calmer, clever. Whereas, like I said, his wife is just balls to the wall nuts.
Oh, yeah. If I ever got the opportunity to meet Sylvester McCoy again, I would definitely ask him some stuff about this film. If he enjoyed filming it, you know, how he approached the role, because I suppose it'd make a change from everyone asking him about Doctor Who or Radagast.
Yeah. They probably would, actually. Obviously, Doctor Who's most likely the thing that people talk about.
Whenever I've met anyone famous at conventions or anything, I always try to think outside the box to mention a film or a series that I don't think everyone will mention, because I think they must get bored of going, oh, you were the Doctor, oh, you were the Doctor, oh, you were, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I get you.
And I just think it gives you the chance to get a bit of unique spark out of them, because they probably turn into autopilot when talking about the same thing all day.
Yeah, you'd think so. Would be a shame, really. I don't know. Would they be bored of talking about the same things? Because you'd expect some things to come up that are different. Then again, it's been how many fucking years since he was in Doctor Who, and if he's been going to conventions and stuff since then, I don't think there's anything new that anyone will ask.
Possibly not. I mean, he was a super, super nice guy when I met him. Proper, real people person, really funny. So even if he was bored, then clearly he's, top gent who can hide it. And because even like the people before and after me, you never saw him like, oh God. He was on it all day, laughing, joking, anecdotes.
I wonder if anyone have asked him what his thoughts were about the way he went out of Doctor Who. Kind of, as we talked about him, you were Matt. It was kind of a lackluster death,
Yeah. Compared to some of them had died and, just getting shot's a bit tame, isn't it?
Yeah. Any last words on the owners before we end?
No, just it's well worth checking out. It's a good film. And I'd heartily recommend it to anyone remotely interested in either horror or Sylvester McCoy or even Maisie Williams.
I second your sentiments. I saw that when it started, it was based on a comic, so I wonder how that is. I wonder how true to that it is.
Yeah, I think, isn't it a French comic or something?
It looked like
I might be wrong.
French comic, because it had what looked to me, my untrained eye, like a French comic, because it looked like French words. Who knows? I think that will be us then. Thanks again for taking part, Kurt. We will be back soon with we're going to talk about Barbie next time. So take care. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? No, please, don't tie her. I beg you, don't tie her.
Too late, darling.
Helen, don't worry. Just don't worry. No, please. No, please. I beg of you. Helen, don't worry. No, you can't. No, please. No, please. Please, no. No, not my Helen. No.
Fuck's sake! Who did you electrics, Granddad? Fucking criminal.